Hello, everyone. I am Calvin X. Mitchell, and I am a real estate agent licensed in DC, Maryland, and Virginia. And I'm here bringing you this week's DMV Real Estate Market Minute, where I provide you with the latest data and statistics affecting the DC area housing market. I post these videos every week. You can find them all over social media. You can also find them on my YouTube channel. Just search for Calvin X. Mitchell. So this week I'm going to take a look at closed sales, the number of closed sales in the area, as well as days on market, which are pretty important indicators to give you an idea of how the market's performing. So if you're thinking about buying, selling, or renting, this gives you an idea of what the terrain looks like across the area. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into this week's data. So like I mentioned, we're going to take a look at closed sales as well as days on market. And we're looking at single family detached properties as well as townhouses. So for single family properties, those are properties that obviously are attached to another property, right? And you have a yard, right? Could be a small yard, could be an expansive yard. All right. So for single family detached, looking at 4 or more bedrooms and 2.5 more bathrooms. Okay. And for townhomes, it could be in units, it could be interior units. I'm looking at 3 or more bedrooms and 2.5 or more bathrooms. So those are pretty standard configurations for detached properties as well as townhomes. So we're going to look at what's happened across the month of May and compare that to what has happened the previous May. All right. So obviously the landscape is a lot different this year than what it was last year. We got the whole impact of the war in Iran, got tariffs, we got inflation, we have other economic indicators that are flashing yellow signs that are affecting the market. As well as interest rates that are kind of holding steady but slightly ticking up. So there's a totally different landscape this year than there was last year, right? So with all those things happening, you would expect to see some signs that the housing market is not performing the same way that it was last year. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into that data. Okay, so the first thing we're going to take a look at closed sales for single family detached properties. And as you can see, those numbers, more or less, there have been some, but there is some, 10%, there's a 10% decrease this year as compared to last year in Charles County. Charles County is where Waldorf is, also known as Wakanda. Okay, so if you take a look, you can see in Charles County, there's 57 closed sales during the month of May 26 as compared to 63 at this point last year. So that accounts for the 10% decrease. All right, take a look at DC. There's a significant increase. There's a 45% increase this year as compared to last year. Okay, so you can follow that logic across the different areas. I'm taking a look at Anne Arundel. Anne Arundel is where Maryland Live is for those who gamble. Fairfax County, Loudoun County, Montgomery, Prince George's, and Prince William County. So you can look at that analysis for the different counties across the area. And next, we're going to take a look at that same sort of analysis with that same sort of data for townhomes across those same counties as well as the District of Columbia. And you can see Charles County, like I mentioned, on the detached side, there is a significant decrease as well on the townhome side. Okay, so it's 100% decrease this year as compared to last year, exclusively for the month of May. All right, and on the flip side, you can see a roughly 20% increase in Fairfax County. All right, PG County, Prince George's County had a significant decrease as well. Okay, so now we're going to talk about average days on market across the area. That's a very important metric if you're looking to sell, right? You want to have an idea of how long it's going to take for your home to go under contract. Okay, very critical. So as you would expect across the area, generally speaking, it's taking longer for your home to go under contract. All right. So if we're going to look at actual numbers, you can see in Charles County, like I've been mentioning, it's taking them roughly 20%, 22% longer for your home to go on a contract. These are for detached properties, okay? And if you look at Prince George's County, it is taking about 43% longer for your home to go under contract. Again, this is for detached properties. All right. On the positive side, in this case, the red numbers are a good thing. On the positive side, we have in DC, Anne Arundel, and Fairfax and Loudoun counties, it's taking a slightly less for your home to go on the market. Okay. And if we take a look at townhomes, average days on market, it's actually not great news. I don't want to say bad news, but it's not great news. It's just taking a little longer for your home to go on a contract. I tell people all the time, it's always a good time to buy or sell. Doesn't matter what's happening in the market. If you need to sell, you got to sell. If you need to buy a place, it's time to buy a place. It's always a good time. So you just deal with the market as it presents itself when you're ready to enter it. Okay. So again, looking at days on market for townhomes, it's taking longer roughly across the board. There is slightly less time, less days on market in Loudoun County. Everywhere else is taking slightly longer. At the end of the day, it's going to sell. It's just going to take a little longer. All right. So that's all the data that I have for you this week. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out directly. You can DM me, you can text me, call, email. All my information is everywhere. Once again, my name's Calvin X Mitchell. You can find this video on YouTube as well as previous videos. So that's it. That's all I have for you this week. Thank you guys for watching, and feel free to hit me up. You guys take care and have a great week. See ya.